And you've got a lot of contracts that are in here that you're going to have to restructure to try and keep maintaining us. See, Dallas, we always believe we're close, and we keep signing and spending big money on a couple of guys instead of just tearing it down and starting over. I'm just saying.
How do the Eagles get better by losing A.J. Brown? What are you going to do? Sign some dude or get a draft pick? That doesn't make you better.
You know what? Here's what you really need to look at. This is from the outside looking in. You got your Super Bowls. You've done incredibly well. Maybe it's time to say, let's cut bait for a year or two and just kind of start all over.
That's not how they think.
I know it's not how you think, but take a look at the Rams. Look what the Rams did. They won that Super Bowl. They ended up having all these bloated contracts and stuff. They got rid of them. They never really got that bad, but they're still one of the great teams. And you've got a lot of contracts that are in here that you're going to have to restructure to try and keep maintaining us. See, Dallas, we always believe we're close, and we keep signing and spending big money on a couple of guys instead of just tearing it down and starting over. I'm just saying.
Philly, doesn't this tell you, too, with what you're watching with these coordinators not having interest in the job, AJ wasn't wrong this year. Everything he said about the offense, you're watching with the actions of the guys, not a guy taking the Tennessee Titans job over the Eagle job. AJ Brown talking about the offense. I'm talking about accumulation of all these things that you're starting to see now. I mean, AJ's not wrong, dude. So they're going to castrate a guy for saying that the offense is inept. I find you need to make this right.
Yeah, I agree. He never was wrong. When he said it, I agreed with him at the time. I think most Eagle fans agree with him. I just don't think people. I just think people thought he was being a wide receiver diva, and I actually think he was speaking up for multiple players on that offense. As I've said before, I think he was kind of the guy they said, "All right, go public and take the arrows." But I agree with you. He was right, and I think they should do their best to try to win him back over and calm the situation and keep the guy. You're better off with AJ Brown than getting rid of him.
Well, Philly, I'm going to give you a little insight that nobody knows right now. According to Drew Rosenhaus's people, they want a Milton Williams deal for Jalen Phillips.
Okay, they want a Milton Williams deal for Jalen Phillips?
Yep. That's
so under 30?
That's 26 large per.
Can't do
it. I said I wouldn't do anything 30 or over. So I'll probably pass. I have to extend Jordan Davis, and I have to extend Jalen Carter this offseason. So
you're going to give Jalen Carter $35 million based off of that year last year.
Based off of what I believe he can
You're
give
basing it off of potential. You're going to give a guy on potential means they haven't really done it.
Yeah, because I look at a team like Dallas and how they screwed Micah Parsons up. Okay. I mean, big time. If they would have paid him 2-3 years ago, he would have been making what, in the 30s, and he would have been fine, and they would have had no problem. Look how they screwed that up. I'm not going to wait on Carter and he comes back next year and is dominant, and then now I'm paying him even more. No, I'm going to pay him. Maybe I could even get a little bit of a deal here or there, a little bit of out because of the way the season went with him. And I'm going to sign him this year.
So Mark, how about this? This is what Philly wants. So I'm assuming, Philly, you correct the number if I'm wrong. You're going to pay in excess of $60 million for 2 defensive linemen. You're going to pay 25 for Davis, who's a 2-down player, and 35.
I don't think Davis is $25 million.
Well, right now he's making 12.
I think he's 18 to 20.
So $55 million you're going to pay for 2 tackles.
I'm not letting those 2 guys go. I'm just not. I'm building my defense around. If I have to take a pay cut and say edge rushers and have to go draft young guys and find guys like that, I will do it. I am not letting Jordan. To me, Jordan Davis proved too valuable to let him go. Too
Mark,
valuable.
how many more years are you going to go with Dak?
I think that here's what I have to look at. Okay, now Jerry Jones is 83 years old, and I'm not trying to wish anything on him, but average age of a billionaire white male is about 86. I look at this and I say, Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott, 3 years. You got 3 years to do something with them, and that's what I would look at right now. If you had asked at the beginning of last year, you would have said the Cowboys have an out after next year. But the way he played and the hits that he took, you look at that and say, we're okay. And you do have triggers that you can use to kick that money down the road. And I think the salary cap's going to go up about $30 million this year. So, if I'm the Cowboys, if I'm Jerry Jones, I look at this, I'm flipping all the triggers that I have. I'm grabbing $100 million. I'm signing George Pickens, and I'm going to be a player in free agency. Maybe I make a trade and try and get Max Crosby or somebody else that's a legitimate defensive end with one of those picks. And I'm taking the other pick, and I'm taking the best defensive player available, and I'm getting a few free agents to supplement that defense.
Do you have buyer's remorse on CeeDee Lamb with the amount of money you paid him?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You're good with that money.
Even with the injuries, he's still over 1,000 yards. And you can see the.
Do you agree you build your team from the inside out, not the outside?
You do. And we ended up getting a stud in Tyler Booker, who's, all rookie team on the offensive line. We've got three great interior offensive linemen that are young. Our problems are our tackles. I think that really they need to think about taking Tyler Guyton and switching him back to the right side and either kicking Tyler Smith to left tackle. And, maybe you find another guard to go in there, or if you can find a left tackle, get a left tackle.
Philly, do you think your problems in 2025 were more O-line or more OC when it came to your offense?
I still think, as bad as the OC was, I still think it was O-line. That O-line really, really struggled. And I think we got away with a lot of stuff the year before just because that offensive line was so good. So I still think that was your number one problem. I think the offensive line was your number one problem.
Lane or A.J. Brown, Philly? What's your biggest conversation if you're the Eagles? Because if Lane retires, doesn't that dictate who you take in the April draft? And if AJ is potentially moved, does that switch? And does that make you go wide receiver in the first round? Aren't those two issues a lot to do with what you're going to do in the upcoming draft? Because if Lane retires, dude, Fred Johnson's not the guy.
No, he's not the guy. But, you can't draft the right tackle just to draft the right tackle. Okay. If the best player on the board when the Eagles are picking 23 is an edge rusher, I'm not taking a right tackle over the edge. I'm still going best player available. So you kind of have to take what's there. Of course, you got to look for a replacement to him if he retires. As far as AJ goes, I do think that dictates maybe when you that you have to take a receiver early, but you have to go out and sign a receiver free agency. The rookie is not going to cut it. You have to go out and still sign, I don't know, Brandon Ayuk or somebody like that. I don't even know who's available. But if you go out and get rid of A.J. Brown, you got to go out and get a receiver in free agency and in the draft, as far as I'm concerned.
Jonathan Gannon, Christian Parker, Jim Leonard is the pass game D coordinator, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Any of those candidates, Mark? Jonathan Gannon, any of those guys, Christian Parker? You like there in Dallas?
To a man, nobody wants Jonathan Gannon.
Why? Okay? Get him. He's great. Get him.
Why? He took the Eagles to the Super Bowl.
Eberflus disciple. Okay. They kind of worked together there before. No, Jonathan Gannon, we don't want him. Christian Parker, I think, would definitely be a lot better. I'm still holding out hope that we can get Brian Flores, because Brian Flores, he's interviewed with Baltimore. He's interviewed with the Commanders for defensive coordinator and for head coach with the Steelers. But it seems like Mike McCarthy's got the inside track. And I don't know of any other interviews that he has. So Although with all the openings, somebody else is eventually going to call him and say, maybe we need to look at this guy.
Philly,
There never was a better person made for the Dallas Cowboys than Jonathan Gannon.
Oh,
we hate him already. So put him on that stupid star and let's go.
Wait,
that's what I say.
How many years do you think Dak has left, Philly?
Oh, I think they should trade him this offseason. I mean, to me, you might as well do it now while you can get something for him. I think 2 at most. I think he's got about 2 years to get it done. Otherwise, it's over.
They could bring Kyler Murray in then, and he could be the quarterback in Dallas.
Ooh.
And have Kyler Murray in there. I mean, you
Thanks
can
for
move.
those
They got 2 years. I mean, he's what, 34? Is he 34 more?
He'll be 33 this year.
33. I mean, yeah, about 2 years. You got about 2 years, I think.
Couple more here for you guys. Philly. So is this more of an indictment on Sirianni or Jalen Hurts that nobody wants the OC job?
That's a good question. I think I got to go with Nick Kotite. I think I think it's Nick. I think it's Nick, dude. Listen. I understand there are reports out and stuff with Jalen, but that I listen to things Jalen says. I listen to other people talk about him that played for him. I don't think he's as difficult as everybody says. I do think Nick is, though. I think a lot of guys probably look at Nick and go, "You want me to answer to that guy? Really? I don't think so." So I would say Nick more than Jalen, if I had to guess, and I don't even know.